I'm Kim Atienza. People call me Kuya Kim. Even my dad calls me Kuya Kim. I always wanted to be on television. It was always my dream to be on television. To be successful in life and on TV, I attribute it to three P's. The first P is passion. You have to be passionate about it. The second P is persistence and perseverance. You have to persist. And the third P is prayer. Let me start with passion. I always was so passionate about being on television that I took up film and audiovisual communications in college, not to be a filmmaker, not to be a scriptwriter, not to be a producer, but to be a TV star. But you know, back in the 80s when you weren't born yet, to be on TV, you had to be perfectly handsome. Your face had to be perfectly symmetrical. The peg then was Aga Mulak, Richard Gomez, guwapo yan, sobra. Kuya Kim, I'm not ugly. Hindi rin naman ako gwapo. Sakto lang. But I was so passionate to be on TV that I took up film and audiovisual communications in UP to be a TV star. I remember the first day when I was a freshman, the teacher, no, my film teacher, Gigi Alfonso, who among you want to be directors? Dami nagtaas ng kamay. Who want to be scriptwriters? Dami nagtaas ng kamay. I was not raising my hands kasi wala nagsabi, who wants to be a TV star? Mr. Atienza, what do you want to be? I want to be a TV star. But I was so persistent that all the go-sees in college, in UP kasi, if you came out in a commercial, that's status symbol. I attended all the go-sees, mainly because I wanted to audition and I wanted to be in a commercial. Out of my 7 years in college, I must have gone to at least 30 or 40 auditions because I was so persistent wanting to be on television. I remember one time, it was an audition for Speedo, swimming trunks. I was very macho. I was very macho in college. But the requirement was I had to be 5'11", or taller. I'm only 5'8", but I went to the auditions. I showed off my beautiful body, but I was so short compared to the others who were so tall. Of course, I failed the audition, but one of the people there who turned out to be my manager, became my manager eventually, told me, Kim Atienza, you know you have a good voice. It's very distinct. It's not announcer-like, but it's very distinct. You'll never forget it. Would you like to audition for voice commercials? Do you want to be a voice talent? So I said, okay, voice, but I still want to be on cam. I want to be the face, but pwede na rin. The first audition, I passed right away. This was a commercial for Miller cigarettes. And then the next one, I just kept on doing voice commercials over and over and over again that I was earning so much. Back in the 80s, I was earning 10,000 pesos a month. That was big money then. Huh? Yet, I was so passionate about being on TV, but my persistence just pushed through. Kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. One time, there was an audition for a TV show. This was in 1989. The audition was for an aerobics TV show. I knew nothing about aerobics. Yet I showed myself. I did some basic aerobic stuff because I had a nice body then. I got my first break on television. It was a TV show in RPN 9 called Muscles in Motion. And I was doing aerobics, yet I didn't know anything about aerobics. But it was historical. I was the first male to wear Lycra on national TV every single day. After about 3 years of doing that, nawala na, tapos na. My dad, who was in politics then, was the vice mayor of Manila. Told me, Kim, why don't you consider politics? We come from a family of politicians. Your lolo's a politician, I'm a politician, your uncle's a politician. Why not run for office? Run for barangay chairman. So I did. Sabi ko, may TV rin naman yan eh. When I'm in politics, I'll have TV guestings, I'll still come out on TV. Medyo TV pa rin. The first few years in politics, I was a bit fulfilled because I had the limelight, yet I was in it for the wrong reasons. I was in politics, not for public service, I have to admit. I was in politics because I loved my family so much and I wanted to continue the legacy. I was not happy. After about 9 years in politics, my dad, who was already mayor then, told me, Kim, I'm graduating na. It's my last term. You will run for office as mayor. So, like any politician, I said, I have to be on television again. Di ba mga politiko, they come out on TV, but actually, their agenda is to be elected for politics. So that was on my mind. My batchmates in college were already bosses in ABS-CBN and GMA7. I called one of them. His name is DJ Santa Ana. He was a boss in ABS-CBN News then. I said, DJ, I want to be on TV. I have to be on TV because may election. Elections is in about a year and a half. I need exposure. Okay, Kim, what are you going to do? Well, wala tayong Steve Irwin dito sa Pilipinas. Remember Steve Irwin, guys? Wala tayong crocodile hunter dito. I can be crocodile hunter. I can wrestle with crocodiles. I like animals eh. Dad is mayor. I can play with those big animals in Manila Zoo. We'll make it appear like I'm in the wild. And it will be such good television. And DJ said, uy, good idea yan ha. But Kim, how much are we gonna pay you? I said, don't pay me. As a matter of fact, I'll even get Pagcor. I'll get a sponsor. So the segment is sponsored. Wala akong bayad. Uy, maganda yan. They tried me out. This was in 2004, and it was a segment in Magandang Bagabayan called Animalandia. I was having so much fun, but I was doing it for an agenda. And the agenda was to run for office after a year and a half. I became so good at what I did because I was so passionate about it that my executive producer, Noel Ferrer, told me, Kim, why are you limiting yourself to just animals? You can do people as well. So they taped my animal segment and I was interviewing people na. I was going around different artistas' homes and rooms, invading their rooms, and it was good television as well. Up until I was doing so much, had so much exposure in Magandang Umaga Bayan already. I was so happy because my passion was being fulfilled. After about 7 or 8 months of doing it without a salary, yet so happy and getting all the exposure so I can get elected, I got called by my boss. My boss then is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, Maria Ressa. She was the head of news in ABS-CBN then. She called me to her office. Sabi niya, Kim, come to the office. Okay, Maria. I just want to let you know, Kim, that I like what you do. You are so good at what you do. But I know exactly what you're doing. Okay, Maria? You are using the platform, News and Current Affairs of ABS-CBN for your agenda, which is to get elected. You are running for office. Booking ang plano ko. And I am not allowing that. But, because I like you, she showed me a contract. I want you to sign this contract. I want you to work for me. But if you sign it, you have to choose. Either television or politics. Cannot be both. My code of ethics will not allow it. Wow, here was Maria Ressa offering me something that I really wanted to do permanently. But I had my duty to my family. I had to run for office. I had to run for mayor. It was a choice between two very tough choices. So I told Maria, give me some time. So I was honored. I was flattered, but I was so disturbed. I was so anxious. The first thing I did, I went to church. I live near Malate Church. I went to Malate Church. I was down on my knees. I prayed. That is the third P. The first P is passion. The second P is persistence. And the third P that makes one successful is prayer. I prayed to Jesus Christ. I said, Jesus Christ, I've always wanted this all my life. I always wanted to be on television. This is my biggest break. Yet, I have a duty to my dad and my family. Help me. Since you're my friend, show me a sign. I challenged Jesus Christ. Show me a sign. The next day, I went on with my duties in Magandang Umaga Bayan, and I was assigned to the house of Ka Ernie Baron. But I was assigned to the house of Ka Ernie Baron, who was the walking encyclopedia of ABS-CBN. He was also the weatherman. I remember. And then Ka Ernie Baron said, Bata, upo ka dito. Medyo nagulat ako. And he told me, live, while the camera was rolling, ang buhay may hangganan. Si Ka Ernie Baron, pwede na akong mamatay. Kasi may papalit na sa akin. Then he put his hand on my shoulder, ikaw ang papalit sa akin. I was in shock. Ka Ernie Baron was healthy. He was not sick. Yet he said he was going to die at may papalit na sa kanya. So binago ko yung energy, pinasaya ko. Sabi ko, Ka Ernie Baron, don't say that. Ano ba? Nandito kami para bigyan ka ng award. Dapat masaya tayo. My next prayer then was, okay, you showed me a sign, now give me the courage. I need courage right now. I'm going to follow, it's very clear where I'm going to go, but give me the courage to tell my dad na ang papalitan ko si Ernie Baron, hindi siya. Ang hirap nun. So, I called my dad. I was set already. I knew exactly where I was going to go because of passion, persistence, and prayer. So I called my dad. Dad, come to my house tomorrow. Can I have breakfast here with mom? May sasabihin ako sa'yo. I couldn't tell him. Dad, my dad said, you don't have to talk. Whenever I watch you on television in the morning, I see how happy you are. When I see you in City Hall working there with me, I see how miserable you are. You don't have to tell me. I give you my blessing. And that was the first day that I officially became the Kuya Kim that you know now, while working in ABS-CBN then. I was so in love with the work because I signed my contract already. ABS-CBN gave me the morning show that it now became Umagang Kay Ganda. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Thank you.